What is good, YouTube? My name is Bandini and I am back with another mixing tutorial video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to sound like Iann Dior. And yeah, thank you guys for showing love on the previous videos that I've been posting with the mixing. You've been telling me to do more, so here I am back with more. And also, every single Monday I will be dropping how to sound like an artist, like in a certain song, like whatever song they have. So drop a comment whatever you want to see next, and I'll definitely make sure to make sure to drop a comment what you want to see next, and I'll make sure to get on that right away. So let's get into it. I use the song Who Cares by Iann Dior, as you can see here, and this is what I got with all the mixing and mastering done.
Who cares? Not a damn soul. And that's why I can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares, who cares? Not a damn soul, and that's why I'm a heartbreaker. I'll admit it. From the second that you told me we was finished for good, now I'm really living like I always said I would. And now you think about me and everything that we could have been. Won't say, but I know.
So obviously, I'm not Iann Dior, so I'm not gonna sound exactly like Iann Dior. But for FL stock plugins, except for auto-tune, I think this is the best mix that I can get for the main vocals, ad-libs, and backgrounds. So if you guys do want to purchase this preset, it will be in the description below. The BeatStars link for $15. It will come with a main preset, a background preset, and an ad-libs. There's no names on these three, but it's these three right here. There will be names on them when you buy them. But let's get right into it. Alright, so starting off with the main vocal, just bring it in right here. An auto-tune, an EQ, compressor, another EQ, and a compressor, Maximus, limiter, a delay with the sub-bus turned down, and a reverb with the sub-bus turned down. Nothing too crazy. Like I said before, everything is stock FL plugins. Alright, so this is what it sounds like just with auto-tune and the EQ, and this is the EQ I have here.
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail.
Alright, and as you guys can hear, there are some unpleasant frequencies still standing out. We're going to take those out in the further EQs, but if you guys want to copy these settings, this is what I have here. Cut out the lows like usual, little boost around 130, some frequency sweeps. If you guys don't know what a frequency sweep is, it's where you just scroll so it gets like very small, and then you just play the vocal until you hear like a unpleasant frequency, and then you just got to take it out by dropping it, and that's what I...
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it.
Next, I got a compressor, and then right here, you guys want to copy these settings. I got a negative 27 dB threshold, 6.9 ratio, 7.4 gain, and the type is hard. That's what it sounds like.
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail.
Alright, and next I got another EQ, as you can see here. Kind of the same concept as this one, just some different frequency sweeps, and a boost around the 5200 range. Close that one. And then another cut around the 8200 range. If you guys want to copy these settings, go ahead. This is what it sounds like with the second EQ on there.
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares? Who?
Alright, and then moving on to the next one, I got a compressor. These are the settings. Everything is relatively the same as like every other one. Just kind of, you got to work it so it's like fits your vocals mainly.
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares, who cares? Not a damn soul, and that's why I'm a heartbreaker.
Alright, and then what we did here is a negative 25 dB threshold, 6.6 ratio, 3.1 gain, and the type is vintage. There's all sorts of types here, but vintage fit for the second compressor. I just messed with them, and that's what I think sounded the best. And then moving on, got a Maximus, and this is for our de-esser. All I did was I went up here, hit presets, hit de-esser narrowband, and this little line right here, it was up more like that. I just bring it down so it was more cutting, and this is just to take out the S's, and this is what it sounds like.
Can't get over now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail.
Alright, and then moving on, I got a limiter. All I did here was just click this little button, hit presets, and hit noise gate, and just mess with the threshold and the gain and the release until it sounded good for my vocals, and this is what it came to.
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail.
Alright, next I got a delay, and as you can see the sub bus is down like 75%, and this is the preset for the delay. All I did was move the cut down like right to here, switched it to ping pong, move the time up so it's like halfway through, and turn the offset down to like right here, and that's what it sounds like with the delay on it.
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail.
So it definitely adds like a lot more space, and you could mess with it like I said before, so it fits your vocals. And lastly, got a reverb with basically the same sub bus as the delay, and this is the preset I have for that. Up the low cut and just lower the wet a little bit, and this is what it sounds like.
Can't get over it now. Won't get over it. You fail, you fail.
Alright, next moving on to the ad-libs. Let's go ahead and name this here. As you can see here, relatively the same as this one, except we just added a chorus and there's no delay. Right here, I'm just going to show you guys, this is my EQ preset. Frequency sweep around 600 and 870, and then another one at 7800, and a boost around 5K. And this is what the ad-lib sound like with just the EQ and the auto-tune on it.
Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who?
So you can barely notice them right now just because I turned down the volume right here, but they will become more noticeable as you mix them. And next we got a compressor. Turn the threshold to -24 dB. Sorry, my cat is like doing that little spinny thing in the background. The gain is around 6.7, and just move it up a little bit more because we turn the ratio up. And the vintage is the type is vintage, and this is what it sounds like with the compressor on it.
Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares?
So it makes the vocal a little bit more present, but it's still not at that point where we want it. So next, threw another EQ on there, did a low cut, frequency sweep around the 1200 range, and you guys can copy the rest of this right here. And that's what it sounds like with the next EQ.
Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares, who cares?
Alright, next, another compressor, and then it's -16 dB threshold, 8.9 ratio, 3.8 gain, and the type is hard, and this is what it sounds like with that.
Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares, who cares?
Alright, next, got a fruity limiter, and for this we just did the noise gate like before, and just went up here, presets, noise gate, and then just mess with the release, gain, and threshold, and this is what it sounds like with the limiter.
Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares, who cares?
Alright, next I got a fruity chorus, and all I did for this was went up here, presets, and hit light HF, and went and just lowered this, the sub bus to around right here, and this is what it sounds like with the fruity chorus.
Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares?
So it just adds just like a little bit of a texture to the vocal, and I think that you can barely hear it, but for the listener's perspective, it just adds that little taste to it. So this is next. We got the fruity reverb, and these are the settings for that. Load the high cut and just up the low cut here, and this is what it sounds like with the reverb.
Won't get over it. You fail, you fail. And who cares, who cares?
And I turn the sub bus down a little bit more than 50%, or a little bit less than 50%. But yeah, moving on, we're gonna go to the dub vocals, the layer vocals, whatever you want to call them. And here, this is what the layer vocals sound like, and this is what what's over top of the main vocals.
From the second that you told me we was finished for good.
So you can barely hear it, but it's still there to add a little texture to the main vocal. And here we go. I'm going to mute all of these. And starting off, we got a fruity parametric EQ. Didn't do much here, just boosted a high and then a low cut around 5600, or a frequency sweep around 5600, and then a low cut like for all the vocals that we had before. And this is what it sounds like with just the EQ.
From the second that you told me we was finished for good, now I'm real.
And then next, we got a compressor, some negative 26 dB threshold, 7.3 ratio, a negative 1.6 dB gain, so it's actually lowering the vocal, and the type is vintage. That's what it sounds like with that.
From the second that you told me we was finished for good, now I'm really.
So you can barely hear it, but it will become more present as we mix it, like I said before. And next, we got another EQ. Just boosted around the 2600 range, and on your mouse wheel you can scroll up, and it will make this like a different curve. So if you guys want to copy this or do whatever you want to make it fit to your vocal, this is what I have on mine. This is what it sounds like.
From the second that you told me we was finished for good, now I'm really living like I always said I would. And now you.
Alright, next I got a fruity compressor with a negative 22.5 threshold, 6.8 ratio, 2.4 gain, and the type is vintage. And that's what it sounds like with that.
From the second that you told me we was finished for good, now I'm really living.
And lastly, or not lastly, but almost lastly, an EQ, and this is just some frequency sweeps. If you guys want to copy these, go ahead, and this is what it sounds like with that.
From the second that you told me we was finished for good, now I'm really living like I always said I would. And now you think.
Alright, and then lastly, we got a fruity reverb with the sub bus down about 25%. This basically is just the right when you add fruity reverb, it's just the same preset, and this is what it sounds like with that.
From the second that you told me we was finished for good, now I'm really living like I always said I would. And now you think about me and everything that we could have been. Won't say but I know I've been on your mind, you've been creeping on the low.
Alright, and that is gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said before, every single Monday I'm gonna be doing a tutorial video on another artist song and like how to sound like them. So yeah, stay tuned, drop a like, comment what you want next. If you did enjoy this and you want this preset, it's in the link in the description, the BeatStars link for $15. Share this with your mom, your dog, your dad, your grandma, sister. Yeah, my name is Bandini. See you guys next time. Peace.